Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to a lovely rusted crate. Now, as many of you probably already know, over the weekend I was actually back in England because of a surgery my fiancé had to have. But sadly, when we got there, literally when we got to England, not when we got to the hospital, we got a phone call saying, well, basically it's going to happen next week. So, on the upside, I've had a lovely holiday, because I just went to Stratford-upon-Avon instead, but during all this, and the point of this story, is my rusted crate has now become a rusted crate. That's not what I was meant to say. My protonium crate has now degraded to a rusted crate on my daily reward. So we're going to see what's in here, and then figure out what we're going to be doing today, as we're still going to try to continue our leveling series, regardless of the sad state of our crate, which is a very weird thing to say. Okay, I'm actually happy with that. I don't think I have this part of the mask, but I do have a few of the eagle mask set already. So, let's have a quick look if that's actually added anything of use. Blocks, cosmetics, and we now have... where are you? Nope, we already had that one, that's a shame, and the cosmetics have like the worst sellback rate there is. If we have a look in the crafting quickly, we can see they cost 4,000 to craft and 200 to actually recycle. So I'm actually going to keep that in case I want to have perhaps like a cosmetic sort of build, because you can build with masks really easily and make some really cool kind of patterns and stuff. So I'll keep that in the inventory for now, and let's figure out what we're going to be doing. So what I'd like to do, and actually a lot of you have suggested, which is quite funny because it was going to be the whole point of this episode, is I'm going to try out some different types of plasma. And first of all, I want to see if the plasma ravager is any better than the plasma disruptor on this type of flyer. And of course, this flyer is very agile, it's very nimble in the air, very quick, it's got a lot of acceleration because I've gone a bit overboard on the thrusters. Of course, I've gone overboard on the forward thrusters, so it means if I do a complete spin out, I can recover very quickly, which makes its turning ridiculously good, which is the whole point of Petal. It's not meant to be sturdy, it's meant to be quick. So perhaps something with a bit more of a quick bit of damage with a lower nominal count might do a bit better, because as we can see, the nominal fire rate is the exact same on every single weapon. You just need more guns to reach that nominal count. So if we go a little bit higher, let's say to the Ravager, we only need 8 for the nominal count, whereas it's 12 for the Disruptor, and we do more damage per shot. So even if we lose a couple of guns, we should hopefully get a bit more of a damage burst using the Ravagers, and we can buy one right now, and let's see if we can sell some stuff. We have a single rail penetrator, I'll sell that because I won't be using that for a while. We have a single left spike, we'll sell that. I am never going to use these Teslas, let's sell 2 of them. And I will sell these because I will never use them without being in a pair. Same goes for these, and this, and that's pretty much that. Okay, and that will give us a lovely 4,000 more Robits, which means we can actually buy 3 of these rather than just 2. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing, testing out the Plasma Ravager. So the first battle, we're going to get into a team deathmatch to see how that goes, and then depending on how long that takes, and depending on how much time I actually have to spare today, we may go into a battle arena. My speech is a little bit off right now, because I'm still incredibly tired from travelling all day. I've gone to like 3 different places, just got home, but really wanted to play something, so here we are, doing a bit of Robocraft, and this is a problem. These are a lot bigger than I actually expected. So what do we do here with this? How do we solve this issue? We have 2 left, so ideally then, what we should do is armor, regular cubes. We're just going to try and bring these out a little bit. It's going to get in the way of that. Well, this is going to be a very weird kind of look, and of course this is going to offset the balance a lot. I'll work on this to make it look a little bit better after the fight. I just want to see how it actually acts, first of all. Okay, that's actually not too bad. We can make that look a lot easier than we otherwise would have. And you can also be blue. And let's just go into test robot just to see how well that's handling the new white distribution. I'm guessing not overly well, to be perfectly honest. Into the air! And it's up the overclocking, and down we go into a glorious nosedive, as always. Okay, that's a perfectly fine fire rate. A lovely blast radius on that. Okay. That will probably do a bit better. Let's see how we are in terms of spinning out and then gaining back control. Maybe next time actually pressing the right buttons. Spin out, and it's not as agile as it was because we are definitely heavier doing this. I mean, we are also adding blocks to the side. So what do we need then? We're currently nosediving, so we need additional thrust on the bottom or a removal of thrust from the top. Our CPU has actually gone down as well because, of course, we're using less guns, and the difference isn't actually that insane. We could have them here, but that does make them incredibly easy to get knocked off, which means we could easily then have a uneven distribution of thrust. Uns and ins. They're just weird to say. It's even weirder to say that. Because who needs a normal sentence? Okay. Whee! Okay, there we go. That's a little bit nosedivey on maximum overclock, but not too much. There we go. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's never going to affect me. I'm never going to go in a straight line for long enough for that to ever affect me, so... Oh, look at the plane rock when I fire. That's adorable. Okay, that's what we're going to go with then. I would like to use the strongest plasma, but that would be far, far, far too expensive, and I don't mean the mega plasma, I simply mean the epic, known as the Devastators. I would like to use these, but that would just be so difficult. How big are these anyway in comparison? Just put one down there on the floor for a second. Grab one of these. That is actually a massive difference. Look at that. That would be very difficult to put on this plane. I was just thinking to myself, perhaps if we were to use 6 of those, the disruptors, or 5 in this case, it would be closer to the nominal count, so we could get a really nasty burst. But there's no chance we are ever going to put that on Petal. I'm even starting to think perhaps the Ravager would be better on a more sturdy, larger vehicle. But for now, we're going to be testing out the Ravager, so let's go straight into a team deathmatch, see how we do. And, well, just see how we do. I might even do a little bit of single player afterwards to see if the Ravager is better at that. I am still on the lookout for the ultimate single player robot. So far, the shotgun really does seem to be the best, but then Teslas do seem to do really well. It's things which do very high burst damage and can be put on very fast robots. If you combine those two, you seem to get the best single player robot. But I don't really have access to a good Tesla blade or the shotguns. In fact, actually no, that's a lie. I would say the Ripper's better than the largest because of the energy use. But anyway, ignoring all of that, team deathmatch, let's get started. And so it begins. Let's see if this plasma is any better than using the Ravagers. I really do think this is going to be better, and I wish I'd tried it out to start off with, but I just wanted to use the smaller plasma. I want to love the smaller weapons, but they keep on just not doing as well, at least with my type of playstyle, and I think that's the key thing. I just don't suit using the cheaper energy, weaker weapons. How did I spot him anyway? Oh, so how did I fail to spot him anyway in the first place? Spot you in the distance, and there's you. The important thing is, I'm always going to miss the target. No matter what plasma I'm using, its missing factor seems to be just as good as the smaller variant. Excellent. There we go, we hit a target mid-air. How pro can you be? We hit a laggy target in the air. Oh, that's a flak user over there. That's somewhat terrifying, isn't it? Spotted. Staying as low as possible. Yes, I am going to try and kill the flak. Darn you, user. Hello, Mr. Railer. Still going after the flak user because he scares me more than everyone else combined. Took out everything but the flak itself, and we took him out. Excellent. Everything's going fine. See, we're fine. Nothing's going wrong here. So much energy consumption per shot. I definitely feel like the burst is a lot stronger than using the smaller plasma, but I don't like how much energy I'm using per shot. Getting used to that's going to take some time, and the frame loss still. Only in Robocraft. I still can't figure out exactly what's going wrong. I'm going to have to perhaps swap my recording software or something. I don't really know. Oh, well, you're going down, aren't you? Let me help you with that. Down he goes as well. Spot him. Oh, we did a nasty hit there. Must have cut off half his robot or something. We are kill stealing like a boss. The kill steal value of these weapons is definitely higher. Okay, yeah, this plasma is just very, very nasty indeed. There's still 4 enemies left though. I thought it basically won, but that's not necessarily true. There's one enemy. You may be asking yourself, what am I doing? Well, but somehow that actually hit the enemy. I mean, am I perhaps a genius and just not fully sane? Maybe that's just the case. That would make more sense than anything else. Yeah, this plasma does seem a lot better, actually, by a long shot. Of course, first experience, we have managed to get 6 kills so far. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Now, one of the enemies is on the floor currently. Spot them. Now, I think that's the flyer, so let's go for him. Yeah, that was a walker-flyer hybrid. May have just took out the whole flying half, though. And the last enemy just over there. Let's see if we can hit him, even though he's in the air, so it's going to be way more annoying. I kind of want to put a couple of lasers on the top of this vehicle, give it a bit of anti-air capability and just the ability to pick off at the enemy, so we don't constantly allow it to heal up. Hello! You can't hide from me, I may be a flyer, but I can go into here. And you are so ridiculously sturdy! How much plasma hit that guy? And a very nice lead, yes indeed, 6 kills, 2 assists from the extremely fatigued Lathrix. Which means a glorious protonium crate, which will probably give us an uncommon, and we'll be very sad about everything. Uncommon, by any chance? Yay. Oh, I actually want that! Oh, screw you! I still hate this. I hate this podium. I hate that it shows you the premium item. Just tell me, you could unlock this slot as well if you bought premium, not, look at this thing, let me emotionally blackmail you into wanting this item. Oh well, we've got the delicious radar jammer disperser at least. I'll be taking that. And instantly recycling it. I'm just going to recycle all. I'm never going to use them. I keep on keeping them thinking, you know what? At some stage, I'm going to use these. I am never going to use these. Maybe if I go a little bit more insane than usual and I decide, let's go with a delicious Tesla robot, and we want to be a bit more hidden, then perhaps I'll do that. Perhaps I'll do something when I really need to be hidden until we hit the enemy. Maybe then I'll use one, and I'll purchase one when that time comes. Same with helium. Right now, of course, we are still getting the, the rare quality, but it is going to be turned uncommon, I think. Although I thought that was already meant to happen, so I'm kind of surprised that was where it was. Okay, let's have another single-player match, then we'll do a bit of single-player to see how the Ravager does versus the more standardized enemies. Here we go then, second battle, just to make sure the new weapon is definitely better than the old one, at least once again for my style of play, and the style of play of Petal, being very hit-and-run kind of styled. The word style is losing all meaning, as I say it more and more. That's a very styled helicopter. Actually it is, that looks really nice. Looks a bit frail, but it's very pretty. I approve of your choices in life. Well done, you. Ooh, hello. Spot. Missed completely, apparently, on the spot. Getting some screen tearing. I really think it is my recording software. I'm currently using DX Story for Robocraft, in case you're wondering, and for the last few weeks it's been so difficult to get any good quality out of it. Every other game's fine. Robocraft, no. Do. Do you think he'll get one hit on me? I kind of hope he does. No. No, he won't. No, that was a bit of a dominant display. A dominant display. That's really weird to say as well. For the tired-minded. Surprise! Oh, that does so much damage! If you get the full volley off, the health just evaporates from the enemy. It's honestly kind of glorious. Going for the legs there a little bit more than I should do, but I just like cutting off mech's legs and seeing them become like just this blob of blocks. A very angry blob of blocks. Aw, that's tiny little plasma. Let's go after him. He's trying to kill the flyers, I am a flyer, therefore I must defend my kin. In stammering glory. Do. The thing is with the smaller plasma, even if he does get a hit on me, I doubt it'll do crippling damage. If he hits the rudder, it won't go through the Triforce. If he hits the wing, it won't go through the armor. If he hits my weapon, well, I might lose a weapon, and that'll be very sad. But we'll get over it, honestly. Keep on spotting him, spot him as well. Let's go up to the helicopter, it's a bit more station. Never mind, he's about to die. Oh, I want to be the one to hit him. There we go, we hit him and turned him into that. Oh, hello, tiny little enemy. Aha! Mid-air kill. Take that. I do kind of love Petal. Petal may be my favourite flyer I've made in a long time. So once again, thank you to Rosefall for the inspiration of the back of the flyer. If I am inspired by someone, I do try to give credit as much as possible. Wow, we just about got the highest score than... Wait. How is his score almost as high as mine? He got one less kill, he got the same assists, he got almost half damage, and yet he's almost the same as me. Oh, he was probably capping. He was probably capping, and that's how he got the points. I'm always curious where the points come from, because sometimes it does seem to have, like, invisible points added, and it's a bit difficult to figure out where they've came from. Oh. Oh, that's what I'd like to see. Stop doing that premium slot. But yes, Thruster Cheetah. Let's see then, that the Thruster Cheetah is here, and gives us just maximum speed. I thought it gave us like a thrust amount, or at least it used to. I was going to say, is it worth having one of these rather than two of these, but now I honestly can't tell you. A friend of mine was actually saying this the other day, and I didn't notice until just now, but there has been slowly, over patch and patch, things being taken off the stats, which you can no longer see, and that really actually is quite annoying. Yes, the maximum speed is 175. Does that mean anything, though, when it comes to one thruster? Because I'm sure it won't be 175 if you have 100 blocks and only one thruster. So I'm assuming it means 175 on its own? At least that's what you'd think. But I wouldn't agree with that, because a thruster on its own, if you just spawn one in, is definitely faster than a hoverblade on its own, which is definitely fast, but... I legitimately don't know if this would be better, but we could, like... I was going to say, we could kind of, like, make this part here to include this thruster and then kind of have it built around it, so it's like 1 point to defend, but honestly, it's a bit too big, so I don't think it would actually make a difference anyway, but even so. Now you, I want to paint white for some reason. Kind of like the skeleton we've been painting before. Oh, maybe not, let's paint it back blue. And then, we're going to go into single player, and we're going to just get 10 kills. So I know, watching single player isn't the most interesting, although I have had quite a few people tell me otherwise recently, which was kind of bizarre, honestly. I had about 4 different people tell me that I should be playing single player more on the videos, which was really confusing to me, because this is like, to me, the least kind of YouTube-friendly game style. We're just flying around killing NPCs, it's not particularly difficult. Well, that was an easy kill, but we do have a full power bar now to regenerate. Yeah, that definitely seems to be doing better than the smaller plasma, especially against the more frail opponents. Just hitting the track one at a time, and then we wait for our energy to regenerate. I will say this, if you're planning on making single player one of your ways to farm crates, and honestly I don't blame you, the experience you get is fantastic, and the amount of crates you get is also fantastic. Because you do have to bear in mind, when you get the bronze crate, you're not only getting the bronze crate, you're also getting the rusted crate. You're getting both, not just one. And then when you get the silver, you get the silver, the bronze, and the rusted. And so on and so forth like that. So obviously, you get quite a few. If you do get the protonium, which admittedly is a lot of kills, you get the protonium, the diamond, the gold, the silver, the bronze, and the rusted, which is kind of awesome. I personally find that going to gold is the best because, of course, as you fight, your overclock level goes up and you do more damage, you kill enemies faster, everything is good. Now, the point of this was going to be, if you're going to do this, and you have a lot of money already in terms of Robits, or you are just lucky and you've already got one, I would wholeheartedly recommend the power module. For me, it's one of my least favourite modules, because I just think it isn't worth the cost, even though it is a really cool concept and you can build robots around it. For those who don't know, it changes your your energy regeneration time from 10 seconds for a full power bar down to 8 seconds, and of course that means it's simply recharging 20% faster or whatever you want to do with math. Which means in single player, you're doing 20% more damage because you're almost always attacking. At the moment, I am just saving up each time. Like, I could be firing now, but I just kind of want the full volley because it's more fun. But if I had something else, like, I don't know, a shotgun, I would definitely want that 20% increase in fire rate, because shotguns drain energy very, very quickly. And I only mention all of this because people were asking me, what's the best way to farm single player? And that's just that, make sure you get a power module. It literally increases your farming rate by 20%. It's kind of awesome like that. And 10 kills, we get the rusted. Shall I get the bronze? I don't know. And you see, at this point, I'm now overclock level 6, and I'm doing way more damage. Have I got a wing knocked off? A thruster knocked off, maybe? I feel a bit imbalanced. There goes you. I wish I could spot enemies, but I can't in single player. I'm not actually sure. So, obviously, we went here to simply answer, is this plasma better than the other plasma here? I kind of think it is, but I think I would also have to look at the numbers a little bit more. Do you get more damage per energy spent? And I don't know, it's just, although I am killing enemies remarkably quickly, as you can see, my power bar is depleted so often, and now I just can't do anything for a while, as I just move around, hoping that an enemy will come close enough for me to hit later. Hello. Oh, take that tower. Okay, I'll just go ahead and get the bronze. I'll probably skip ahead unless I have something else of importance to talk about, but right now my mind is almost completely empty, so I don't know if I have anything else to talk. Oh yeah, the new map's coming out. How about that then? There's a new map coming out in Robocraft. It's going to be on Earth. Isn't that exciting, children? But no, seriously, it's actually quite exciting. It's going to be really cool to have a new map to play on again. I know when the Dam came out, it came out with very mixed reactions. I personally love it. It's my second favourite map. This map is actually my favourite, even though apparently it needs to be revamped. I agree, but I love it anyway. And there's going to be a new game mode as well. Because of the matchmaking system currently in place, which isn't tier-based, it's CPU-based, which has a lot more lenience in terms of robots that can be pitted against each other, which is a good and bad thing at the same time. There's more players in the player pool, which means a new game mode wouldn't split up the pool enough to cause problems. At least that's the idea. There's been some hints as to what the new game mode is going to be, and I've been told some things which I can't repeat by higher-ups of power in the world of Robocraft, but I'm cautiously optimistic because I just need something else to play other than single player and team deathmatch. Team deathmatch is starting to become stagnant for me, and I dislike Battle Arena. So I do need something else to do. Aha! And you see, that's what I mean by more thrusters equals a faster recovery time from spins like that. Okay, so what do I get from the rusted and the bronze? Well, not very useful, but continue. Bronze gets me a centaur. Is that the smallest? And we leveled up. Oh, on the upside, I did actually get to play a quick game of Robocraft whilst I was in England because I used my uncle's computer for a little while, and I did get the new legs for Petal. So when Petal becomes the final version, sorry, Parasite rather, when Parasite gets upgraded to the final version, which of course we will put on the store when we can I just go away, thank you, I will be able to have different, more powerful legs, which I might actually have to remove just to make sure people know, people can purchase it because these aren't exactly too cheap. Okay, no, the Centaur is the middle ground of the uncommon, the higher up of the uncommon before it goes into the rare. I believe this has the Talos. Yeah, this has the Talos, which is actually a ridiculous upgrade. The old one, the old Parasite, used to use the Centaurs, which were 32,550 health and 97,000 shield. This has 45,000 health and 135,000 shielding. They take an absolute beating, and that's why I've started to make sure that all the blocks are actually connected to the legs, because they're more of a damage sink now than anything. Beforehand, they were a bit vulnerable, so I did try occasionally to have, like, armor pointing away from it, just a little bit, to make sure the legs didn't go out as soon as the fight started. But now, there's almost no need for it. These are just almost impossible to destroy unless someone focuses on them, or destroys all of the connection points. Eventually, we will try to upgrade to the Colossus, and I don't think I'll ever go for the mech leg, but the Colossus legs would be fantastic. That would be 154,000 shield and 51,000 health, which is a lot and takes a lot of damage. And with that, thank you so much for watching this very, very disjointed video. I think I've decided for single player, I am not a big fan of the new plasma, just because it feels like I'm doing less, so even if it is faster, I just feel slower. I feel slower, even if it is faster, which isn't very enjoyable, particularly since single player already isn't the most enjoyable thing in the world and can get very boring very fast, even if leveling up is very quick. So, sticking with those, but in single player, yeah, the burst from these things is crippling. It just destroys the enemy before they know what's going on, and then you can just finish them off. I think those two battles was a very good example of that, and I feel very proud of my little flyer. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the very disjointed video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Robocraft is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing. I may be trying to build a new helicopter, because I haven't built one in a while, or I might just be doing a bit more pit, or a bit more battle arena, just to get our levels a little bit higher before the new battle mode is fully released, is shown to the world what it is, and we can kind of build a robot for that. Some people think it's going to be a race mode. I am one of the few people who don't want this, but even that would be very cool. The problem with race modes, it's just, I can't see many types of bot working other than some very select few who are going to dominate, so I can't see that being good for the overall experience, but I'm a simple person with simple ability to think good. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get some sleep, and I'll come back to record later. Thank you again. Goodbye.